is a health and wellness company run by myself, and it was founded in 2010, last year. And what I do is I run phase 4 cardiac rehabilitation programs. So if somebody has a coronary event and they're in hospital and they have phase 3 cardiac rehab, they go back home into the community and there's nothing for them to continue on with to keep the exercise going. So this is where I come in. I'm more of a community-based approach to health and wellness, and I run a phase 4 cardiac rehab program with them. I also run COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder program. So anybody who has emphysema, asthma, things like that, they will come into me as well. I go out to the community and do voluntary health talks in schools, community settings like active age groups, all the women's networks, and just go out and talk to them about health and wellness and how they can improve their health. I run a GP exercise referral program. So I did the GP exercise referral course, and now I run that where the GPs and the hospitals refer the patients on to me. So say somebody who has type 2 diabetes wants to come and do an exercise program. They might want to start in a gym. They might feel comfortable starting in a gym, so they'll come to me and I'll design an exercise program for them. So where did it all begin for me? I'm going to just tell you a little bit about my background. I came from a big family, 9 children, couldn't afford to go to college, so it wasn't on my agenda to go to college then. I came from Coolock, disadvantaged area, so wasn't on my agenda, didn't want to go to college. Got my first job, give my mum a bit of money each week, she was delighted. So after a couple of years, I decided to do a health and fitness course, so I went and did my training in health and fitness. I worked in a couple of gyms then, got bored of the gym, said, do you know what, it's something I really want to do, I want to go back to college. It never entered my mind when I was younger, so I just looked at ways, how could I go back? So I decided to go back as a mature student. So at that stage I had my first child, he was 2, had to put him into a creche all day for me to go back to college. So I came back, DCU, sports science and health, a bit daunting, I'll come into that a little bit more. But I'd have to say I was very motivated and very enthusiastic. I really, really wanted to go to college and get my degree. Well, any programme that was available in DCU, I jumped on. If there was that one going, I had to do it. So I did a student empowerment programme. I did a mentorship programme, so I was sitting probably in one of those seats up there somewhere. And I also did the union module. I don't know whether you're familiar with the union module. So it's for extracurricular activity. So I would have been involved in the cardiac rehab programme here called HeartSmart. I would have been teaching on that. So that came in as my union module. Got my certificate for that as well. So anything that was going, basically, I think you should jump on it and just take the opportunity with both hands. My thesis then in my 4th year was all about exercise psychology and around the area of motivations and barriers to cardiac rehab, which I really enjoyed. And from there, I realised that that's the area I wanted to go in. So I think even from if you're doing a thesis, start looking at what area you want to get in and really focus on your thesis, and it might help you go down the road you want to go down. During that time, I jumped on other courses, Pilates, boxercise, kettlebells, anything that was out there in the industry, I had to do it. So then in 2005 to 2007, I was coordinating and teaching the HeartSmart programme. Dr. Catherine Woods in the School of Health and Human Performance asked me to get involved in the programme. She knew I had my fitness instructor courses and qualifications, so she needed somebody to teach on the programme. So that's when I realised that that's the area I wanted to go down. So I really enjoyed working on that. I was involved in the setup of that and running. In 2006, I went to my interplacement to DCU and taught fitness classes and general population classes like that. And then when I finished my degree, I got the job as the wellness coordinator in DCU Sports. So I used to run all the health and wellness programs over there. So when I started college, there was lots of obstacles I had to overcome. I had to adapt to student life. I didn't go out that much as a student. Had to go home, feed the kids, feed the husband. So I had to really, I remember coming into DCU first, I thought it was like a little city. There was a bank, there was a shop. I was going, wow, I was looking around, it was amazing. I had to start studying again and learn how to study again. I left school at an early age, and I would have found maths was my weakest subject. Oh my God, did I hate maths. Absolutely hate maths, still do. And when I came back into DCU, I couldn't believe that in sports science and health, I had to do a maths module. My worst nightmare. So I ended up getting grinds in maths from the mature students officer. They got someone in to do grinds with me. And I passed my maths. Yay. Didn't pass by much, but I passed. So I was happy. So being a mature student was very difficult for me as well. I remember having to do a few group projects, and most of the class would have been 20, 21. I was a little bit older and I had to go and do group projects with them, and we'd meet up in the library. We'd go to one of their houses and we'd be there till 2 in the morning. And I'd go, hold on a minute, I have to go home. I have a child at home. I have to cook dinners and everything. I couldn't believe it. It was just so hard for me to adapt. So I think if you do have mature students in the class, kind of feel where they're coming from, and vice versa. I had to I did go out a couple of times with the young ones. I was delighted with myself going there. But you do have to adapt to who's in your class, and you're going to have all different walks of life as well in your class, different backgrounds. So the journey so far, well, Fitwell is quite successful now with its referral programs and the talks that I go out and do for the community. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not making lots and lots of money, because I do enjoy going out and doing voluntary talks. So that's another part of it. Like, I do make my money, but I do a lot of voluntary talks, and it's so much more rewarding as well, so I think, to give something back. So I really enjoy that part of Fitwell. So I get called into do talks to various groups in the community, like the older adults to active age, older women's networks, groups like that, into schools to give talks to children on nutrition and exercise, things like that. I do a lot of freelance stuff as well, so I might go to somebody's house and do personal training. I actually have a couple in their 60s who both have cardiac diseases, and I go to their house and do an exercise program with them because they can't come to mine. So I do a lot of freelance work as well. I'm working in the School of Health and Human Performance, teaching exercise psychology to secondary students. Well, if I had to give you a bit of advice, find out what your area is, find out your passion, and drive that forward. Definitely drive that forward and build on it. Look at your strengths and look at your weaknesses. I kind of identified a lot of my weaknesses, and I'm really working hard, and you'll always work hard on those, trying to improve that. And identify both strengths and weaknesses and work on them. Definitely get work experience. Definitely. I did a lot of voluntary work experience while I was in DCU, and it really does set you apart from other people. I mean, you're all coming out with degrees, you're going to have a little bit of work experience behind you as well. So I would suggest do some work experience. And it is so rewarding as well. Avail of the DCU services, so your student mentorship program, student empowerment program, the lean module, anything that's gone, take it. Look at intrinsic motivation, so that's your own motivation. Your family and friends, they can all support you and help you along, but you're going to have the motivation yourself. So find that inner motivation. Set yourself apart from the rest, so the likes of doing extra courses, qualifying in different areas, and it's going to stand to you then when you leave. Be the best you can be and give everything 100%.